Alright, now we're outside. What I like to do here is, you don't want to, okay, it saves a few seconds, but you don't want to jump down like that. What I'd like to do is stay close to the bushes like this, going as quickly as possible, of course, and jumping off like that. Because, yeah, I'm sure you can see it. You can see it. And now, and that's also when I like to equip, like, while Link's in midair, I like to take the time to equip the bow. Now, since you will most likely have lamp equipped at this point, well, for some reason he won't have the lamp equipped anymore after that cutscene. He will also be restored to full health as well. But the cursor will still stay where the lamp is. What I like to do, you can either use the stylus to try to be real quick, or you could just simply press up, quickly press Y then B. Slide input Y to B. If that made any sense, hopefully. But in case, if that's a little too much for the time being, you can just try to use the stylus, drag it quickly to the item slot, and press B cancel. I think A cancels too. Yeah, A cancels too. Hey, Dead on Alan, it's been a while indeed. Hope you're doing well. Alright, so we'll just go here, get past these Octoroks. Okay. Alright, let me just get that bird out of the way, and you won't have to deal with that bird normally, because you're going quickly. Now, before I go up the screen, there's two things that can happen, and this is RNG related. The Octorok, there's going to be an Octorok. You'll either move up and down, or left and right. Now, good RNG would be the Octorok moving left and right. If he's moving up and down, he will be in your way, thus being bad RNG. Like that. That's usually going to happen. Now, you can choose whether or not, because it's dependent on RNG anyway, you can shoot the bow right here. As soon as you shoot the arrow, hold up to quickly move, and like that. And whether or not you decide to shoot the bow, RNG, there'll still be RNG either way, because if you shoot the arrow and Octorok's moving left and right, which normally would be good RNG, it would be bad RNG if you use if you shot the arrow, because you will miss the Octorok. If it's moving up and down, it will get hit and die. But it's your preference, really. If you skip out on the bow and hope that the Octorok's moving left or right, that would be the quickest way possible. But shooting the bow alone is not going to kill too much time. Is there any reason to switch items mid-air instead of off the ground? Just personal preference, really. As long as you have the bow right before this point, you will need the bow right at this point. I like to do it while he's in mid-air because I don't have to worry about slipping the circle pad and Link stopping in place or screwing up his movement or something like that, if that makes sense. But personally, I like doing it in the mid-air. Okay. But yes, once you're here, just quickly shoot the switches like that and go through. I like to hug the wall like this, stay as close as possible. Now we're in Eastern Palace. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna leave Eastern Palace like this because the second you enter Eastern Palace, the patterns of the iron balls that roll through the hallways will begin the moment you step in there. So you obviously want to go through that pretty quickly if you want to try to get through those rooms as best as possible. Now first thing you do when you enter, you quickly move to the right, shoot the switch with the arrow, and keep moving. Then the next room you're in, there's going to be a Popo right in the middle of the room. You can choose to either kill it or try to move past it from one of the sides, preferably on the right side, which is what I like to do. I'm explaining this now because I'm going to try to do it all quickly, and I hope you all keep a very close eye on it. And I'm going to, and after that Popo room, there's going to be there's going to be that iron ball room, And I want you guys to keep a close eye on how I do it, because I will... anything can happen. So, we're going to do this right now. Keep a close eye, peoples. Move here, hit the switch. Alright, didn't get hit. Do that, go walk right past it, and like that. That was the best possible way of doing that room. Because I was able to slip through that second small ball after the big one without getting hit, which is good. I'm just going to quickly grab the money like this. But yes, that's basically why you want to do things quickly, and the reason why I hit that first ball from behind is to get Link to be pushed up and to walk through that giant one there, stay on the left side from that first one, and quickly slip by the second one. So, if that made any sense. I'll show you. But in case you do mess up and something goes wrong, all you want to do basically is get hit by any of the small ones so you can get through that big one, because you don't want to get hit by the big one at all. That was a bad example. There, that should do. There's always going to be a heart in these two pots right here in case you're on the verge of dying or anything. I guess, yeah. Dungeon music is great, yes. Alright. Those rupees I grabbed, I like to grab those rupees. It just helps, because you do need money. It will come in handy. And now you go for this switch right here. Enter this room. Before we continue, my battery's dying. My DS battery's dying, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug that in. And okay. You don't need to worry about that purple, but well, that's not the best way to do that room. Okay, as soon as you enter that room, get on that platform that's moving up and down, elevation wise, and you want to go for the switch on the left first, because the platform is going to be going down, so, and the switch is on the lowest elevation. So shoot the switch on the left first, and then when the platform rises again, shoot the switch on the right, and be ready to get the chest that has the small key in it. Like so. I like to jump off that corner. I like to do things in a quick manner, so I do that. But it can be risky if you mess up that particular thing. Here, I can show you. Like, if you're up here and you try to get there, you can fall like that. Things will happen. I was gonna fall anyway because of this being raised. Actually, can I make that? No. Okay, never mind then. You don't even have to kill that purple either. You can just walk by it and just keep going. And again, if you're still low on health, there's a heart right there. Desert Palace music is very good. Alright. Yes, this is a boss fight, but these guys will not do anything until you press that switch. Once you press that switch, they will go after you. But what you want to do right before you press that switch is have spin attack charging already. It doesn't have to be completely charged. Just make sure Link is holding the sword out and then press the switch like that. It will charge in the meantime. Then when they get close enough, unleash it. Oh, I should explain that when you do spin attack the first time and you let go, immediately hold B again, so he will charge another spin attack right away. That's what you're gonna want to do to kill those armors quickly. You don't want to take the time to do another slash, charge it up like this, when you can just hold B and he'll charge up another one right away. But that's the way to do that little mini boss there. Alright, now for this room, just keep moving and don't get hit by the arrows. When it comes to this arrow, just stay close to the bottom like this without falling off, because you want to reach the switch right here. There's always going to be a popo spawning right here. If you're moving quick enough, you won't have to worry about the arrow on that wall there. As a matter of fact, pressing the switch kind of stopped it, but there's always going to be a popo spawning right here. So be ready to swing your sword. Don't count on trying to slip past it. Sometimes you might get hit and you'll fall. You usually fall up like right here. You don't want to do that. But yes, you want this switch to open the door and go right through it. Alright. Now, with this room here. Alright, this almost will be triggered regardless. You don't... If you're confident enough, you could do this part real quick and not have to worry about that almost hitting here. But in case you are worried about it, just push it off, kill it, something, do something. Now, there is a switch right here. You want to hit this switch to activate that platform right there between the door and the armos. Well, I could just hit it right there, but that wouldn't be very quick. What I like to do is be right at... Oh wait, hold on. I don't want to shoot it just yet. Like, right around this corner. You can see... Actually, I'll shoot it anyway. There you go. We hit the switch. Now, if you pay attention to Link's shadow, it's like right between the lines, basically. Like this. And like his shadow, the bottom half is kind of into the gray square beneath you. Are there any major or even minor skips like Sly Cooper Place? Well, Sly Cooper Place, you can completely skip Desert Palace in this game, so that's a major skip. You can skip Skullwood's boss completely, but there's a bunch of major skips. I'll get into that later in the tutorial. Right now, there is Eastern Palace Big Key skip coming up, so that's a pretty hefty skip. You found one by accident in Tower of Terror? Nice. Alright. Now, you want to have Tornado Rod equipped right there. You're going to need it for this, for the Eastern Palace Big Key skip. This is a pretty difficult trick to kind of get into, especially for first timers. I had a lot of trouble with this for a while when I first started learning. What you want to do is, with that platform moving up down, you want to trigger this Armos, use the sword to push him like that. You don't want to do a third slash, it will kill him. I like to do two, you could just do one, but I like to do two sword slashes to make sure he's on that platform. Make sure he doesn't get pushed off anywhere else. So, he's on the platform. Now, when the platform's on the bottom like that, don't get on the platform right away, because it's going to trigger the Armos and it's going to cause all sorts of problems. But you want to wait, you want to stay on your current elevation and wait for the platform to rise up. And then once it reaches your elevation, you will move to that top corner like that, like where I just went right now, because you want to drag or lower this Armos into this top corner right here where I just went right now. Once he gets close enough, you want to start moving to this bottom corner. That was a little too early, but his positioning was a little bad. And you definitely don't want to take damage from him, because chances are he could be pushed down to the lower elevation, and you don't want that to happen. Now the skip itself, this is the tricky part. You want to, now, once you're in that bottom corner where I am currently, this is where you want to take damage to get the invincibility frames. Now, when the Armos is close to where Link is, at the peak of the Armos jump, you are going to use a Tornado Rod. I know it's pretty hard to see when you can tell it's at the peak of its jump, but thankfully, even if you don't get it the first try, there are very easy backups and you'll only lose a few seconds. But I will demonstrate it as well as I can. Hopefully I get this first try. I usually don't, to be honest, but things happen. So take damage, and hey, we got that first try. But I still want to demonstrate what happens if you don't get first try. So I'm gonna go ahead, jump back down, and leave the room. Come back in and deal with that Armos, and show you what you can do if you don't get a first try. Because We don't want anyone to panic now if they miss the first try. So I'll try to... Yes, okay, in case you do it too early like that. What you could do here is move Link so he's facing up like that. And then use the tornado rod again, and he'll usually get up there just like that. Now, but in case that doesn't work, wait until those stars go away and then the armor starts to shake. Then when he does that, then use tornado rod there and Link should be up there. If by any chance that doesn't work, well, then you are out of luck and you'll probably have to leave the room and come back again and do it all over again, because with the stamina you have, 3 tornado rods is all you'll get to use by the time you have to wait for it to recharge again. So hopefully nothing happens. Actually, you know, I might as well demonstrate that too. Okay, maybe I was a little too close for the shake part, but usually when the second attempt doesn't work, that third one where you wait for the stars to go away and for him to shake, then use a tornado rod as your third attempt. That will usually work. But yes, now once you're up here, be careful, be very careful. Don't want to fall down. Don't go left. Either you're gonna either go into the next room or avoid one of the two. Now you carefully want to get to the boss door. You can fall a little bit earlier if you're feeling confident, like holding towards the direction of the door so you can get into the loading zone. But if you're not feeling particularly confident, get to the door area and hold up, and you should safely land into Yuga. The Yuga fight. Okay. What I should have done, you want to have the bow equipped right before you get in here. But in case you don't, it's not that bad. Just quickly get into the items menu as soon as the fight starts. Alright. And quickly equip it. It's kind of why you want the bow equipped beforehand. It'll be a bit of a hassle here. Hey, Hamplan, what's going on? But as soon as you start, 2 arrows. 2 arrows. The second the fight starts, hold up, shoot 2 arrows. The reason why I like to hold up is because the arrows will fly, or rather the second arrow will fly faster to Yuga. Now, when he gets into the wall like that, which is what he's going to do after you shoot him twice, depending on where you are, he's going to merge into either the middle wall where he just was, or that wall where here he is currently, because I moved towards him to get closer. Now, when he does that, he's always going to move a minimum of 2 walls when you attempt to chase after him. Like, see, because right now I'm standing still, he's not going to move anywhere. You move towards him, he's going to move 1 like that. And, okay, he will move on its own. But, you know, if you move after him, it will accelerate that process. But I'm going to try to get as close as he can, and try to shoot him pretty quickly too, because he can summon enemies. If he summons enemies, that will be a big time waste, and you don't want to do that. So quickly get in a good position and shoot 2 more arrows at him like that. And usually after the first 4 arrows, he's going to have a temper tantrum like that. Now, once he does that temper tantrum, you basically do the same thing for the rest of the fight. But it's gonna be Yuga's indeed male, Megzash. Now, okay, I'll demonstrate it. Get 2 like that, shoot 2 arrows. Since you do have to deal with the stamina meter, your arrows will probably be depleted completely at this point, since you shot a total of 6 arrows with few break in between. Now, the next one you're gonna want to do when Yuga pops out again is shoot only 1 arrow and get 2 sword slashes on Yuga. I'll demonstrate that right now. 1 arrow, 2 sword slash, because he will not have enough stamina to shoot the second arrow. Just so you know. Now, and This will be the final one. Just shoot one arrow and one sword slash, and that'll be the end of Yuga, and be ready to skip another cutscene. Alright. You don't have to get the heart container, but there are some skips, major skips, that are pretty difficult, and you're gonna want some health, and you don't, again, you never want to die in this game. But skipping a heart container will save about 2 to 3 seconds, just so you know. Yes, it builds up if you skip as many unnecessary heart containers as you can, but, you know, this is supposed to be for beginners, so just grab it anyway. But if you are feeling particularly confident, you can skip that heart container and save about 2 to 3 seconds. Anyway, so I merged on. There was a little crack in the middle. You want to merge on the right side of it. You want to merge on the right side of it to get to that blue rupee up there, like I just did. Indeed, I will indeed be uploading this to YouTube, and smaller parts, and the full version as well. How many rounds do you just use arrows? Well, often you just use arrows for until he does a temper tantrum, and then once he does a temper tantrum, you do those 2 arrows again. Then after that, 1 arrow, 2 sword slashes, and for the final one, 1 arrow, 1 sword slash. Now, yeah, fair enough, Megazash. There was a point where I was skipping it, but that's before all those trial skip and kick you, whatever. Anyway, so you want to merge there because you want to get that blue rupee and get that chest over there. It has 100 rupees. You need money. So, after I got the blue rupee, I was hugging the railings and then moving in a diagonal direction towards the railing so I can fall off down here, because you can't just fall off down where that purple pot is and then be able to come down there, because the railings will be in our way. So, but once you get down here, you want this, the silver rupee. Now merge here, just go all the way around and get out at the earliest convenient. I'll go back in that room and demonstrate what happens in case, you know, something happens. I'll come back to that room. Now as for this room here, alright, past that first one, there's no way you're gonna make this one just by walking. It's never gonna happen. So you're gonna have to merge right here. And of course, get out. Don't get out too early. You're gonna fall. Here, I'll show you when would generally be a safe time to do it. Now, okay, I'm gonna go right here. See, if you can see the like little pillar thing that's sticking out a bit, brick pillar thing, whatever you can call it. If you look from the very bottom of that brick, there's and the floor that's moving in and out. If the floor passes the first line, that's generally a safe time to come out of the wall. Like right there. Right there is perfect time. So just press A, get out. Some pots have like a red light inside of them. I don't know about red lights. I don't know. There's definitely purple ones which carry stamina potions that basically restore your stamina to full. But that's the deal with that room. And this room is pretty straightforward as well. You can try to get out early, just of course not too early. When it's like halfway like this, you can press A to get out a little early like that. I probably could have got out of there a little earlier, but that's okay. Now, stay on the right side of this, so you'll be closer to the bottom. And now, I like to merge towards the top, so I'm closer to the chest right here. And again, I'll merge towards the bottom, so I'll be closer to the bottom and thus closer to the door. But before we leave, normally we would just head out, but I want to go back to that room again and explain a little more in detail of the what you need to do after the Yuka fight. I'm gonna have to do big key skip again because yeah, door's still locked. Oh dang, okay. This is one of those moments where I can use the shake part to do that. Okay. That's in case you're too late on the first attempt. That's usually when you're gonna have to wait for the stars and the shake to do the T-Rod and do big key skip. Otherwise, if you do it too early, you're more likely can do it in the second attempt where using it facing up and then using T-Rod. But that's that, and come back here. You don't want to be on this side. If you go on this side, you're gonna be on a completely different spot. So always merge on the right side. Ah yes, you want to hug this railing and continue holding towards the northeast direction to either land on top of the railing or fall past it. But in case you do fall, like, and not past the railing, energy potion, yes. And you're stuck up here. Just get on a wall, like this, and that's all you can really do in case you do mess up. And then just merge back, go all the way around, get that silver rupee chest, and come back here. You'll want to grab that energy potion as well, because if you did make a mistake and merge into the wall, you will probably be out of stamina. And yes, and since you did glitch the game early on to get the double Ravios, it does skip out on displaying the stamina meter, so you will lose out on that, unfortunately. So you have to use your best judgment on how much stamina you think you may need. Out of curiosity, those who went to Smash Fest. Ah, yes, that was my friend. The characters I played were Marth, Greninja, and Mega Man at the Smash Fest. It was pretty fun. Okay. Alright, this part I already showed, so we're just leaving this place now. Now, as soon as you leave, this is going to be an unskippable cutscene, so you're just going to have to mash the text here. And the way you can tell that it's not skippable is because if you try to mash start, it will pause the game. So just continue to mash for this particular part. Okay. You're gonna get a choice soon. Actually, wait. Was it here? Yes, okay, yes. You're gonna get a choice here. Hey, dragon fruit with a hat, what is going on? Yes, you'll get a choice. He will ask you to save. You don't want to be mashing A here. You want to mash B. And say no. Well, unless you want to save it. Have a safety save. But saving generally will take some time. So, mash B in this particular conversation so you can skip that out on that. Now, once that's over,